Welcome to CFL Rules 101. If you're used to watching the NFL, you'll notice a few small but significant changes when taking in a game north of the border.
Noah Stewart, as he sings the national anthem of the United States of America.
Ensemble, in defiance of terror, pour défier la terreur, and in honor of Warrant Officer Vincent and Corporal Cirillo, our national anthem. À l'honneur de l'adjudant Vincent et le caporal Cirillo. There is no soloist. This is our salute. À nous maintenant, l'honneur.
Chris Schultz, you would say.
First, the field is longer and wider. Your NFL field is 100 yards and 160 feet wide, while the end zones are 10 yards deep. The Canadian field is 110 yards long and 195 feet wide, and the end zones are 20 yards deep. Also, if you're familiar with pre-1974 NFL, you'll be used to the goalposts in the CFL being on the goal line as opposed to the end line where they are now in the NFL. A small but very significant difference is the number of downs. The American game gives you 4 downs to advance the ball, but in Canada, you only get 3. There's a lot of movement behind the line of scrimmage in the CFL, but it's all legal. The CFL allows for all offensive players in the backfield, except for the quarterback, to be in motion. They can move in any direction, and you'll generally see wide receivers take advantage by timing their run to hit the line of scrimmage at the same time of the snap, allowing them to get down the field faster.
Eric Rodgers has his first Canadian Football League touchdown!
The one-point play, or rouge, is specific to the CFL. Any kick that goes into the end zone in Canadian football is considered a live ball unless it is a successful field goal attempt. If the receiving team fails to return the football out of the end zone, the kicking team is awarded a single point.
And he goes down and gives up a single.
So how do you get the ball out of the end zone? Well, you can run it, obviously, but you can also punt it. Kicks are legal in the CFL from any point on the field. Multiple kicks, in fact, can happen on a single play, as was the case in 2010 when the Toronto Argonauts faced the Montreal Alouettes. Montreal missed a field goal and the ball was recovered and punted out of the end zone by Toronto to avoid conceding the point. Montreal then punted the ball back into the end zone, where it was again recovered by Toronto, who again attempted to punt the ball back out. They failed, however, and the ball was recovered by Montreal for a touchdown.
It's a touchdown, Montreal, on a bizarre way to end the football game.
So that covers some of the basic differences between American and Canadian football. So now, sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Well, the CFL is a totally different game than the NFL game. First of all, you're playing on a longer field, 110 yards. You're playing on a wider field, 65 yards compared to 53 yards. You play with 3 downs as opposed to 4 downs. You're playing with 12 guys as opposed to 11 guys. There's so many other ways to score in the CFL game, which I love about it. There's no such thing as a fair catch on a punt. You have to give a guy 5 yards, and every punt is returned, so the game never slows down for a fair catch. Every ball has to be returned out of the end zone, or the kicking team gets a point for that if you don't take the ball out of the end zone. The end zones in some stadiums are as deep as 25 yards long, so you can throw a deep ball on the 1 yard line if you want to. So a lot of differences, but I really liked the game because it was so fast moving. There was so many different ways to score that you were always in it. I adjusted to all of that. I don't know, I wouldn't say quickly, but I'll tell you what, it was an eye-opening experience, my first preseason game as a rookie, watching some of the stuff unfold. I remember towards the end of the game, it was like a tie football game, or I think we were ahead by 1 or 2 points, and a team was going to kick a field goal to maybe beat us. Well, they missed the field goal, but if we wouldn't have returned it, they would have got 1 point and would have tied the score. But we were able to punt the ball back out of the end zone, believe it or not, and then they were able to catch it again and punt it back into the end zone to try and get another point. And I'm watching this ball go back and forth. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Nobody had gone over that particular situation with me. So that was just one of those situations that made the game a lot more exciting. But I really enjoyed my experience up there because I had a lot of success. I played on a great team. We won 5 championships in a row, and just met some great people, learned a new environment living up in Canada, so it was a great experience. And then coming back to the NFL, it wasn't a big adjustment for me because I had played that game all my life. I had played it from the
Team of 42 so far. Crenshaw will finish someone ahead. And McCarty, does he have enough? Across the 30, and it's a first down for Edmonton. And off to Johnson. And Johnson trying to get it inside. Lost the football. The ball one. He was got it. And he's going to score. So 2nd and 16. Glenn has time. Looking for Ernest Jackson. And what a catch down at the time. On the short side,
100-yard plus games close to 200. There's another direct snap to Cornish. Cornish, left side, and he'll score his first touchdown of the season. Comfortable lead now for Bo Mitchell, trying to get his first win. There's Fuller, injured earlier in the game.
A couple of blocks on this play. Keep an eye on Lewis. Here's number 82, and he has got the radar on right here.
Looking for Marco Iannuzzi. D. Webb launches and hits him helmet to helmet from behind. Look at that. That's as bad as it gets. Iannuzzi, visibly shaken, would have to leave the game with a head injury.
Twins formation with Andrew Harris and Stefan Logan both released. Flag comes down. Glenn dumps it off and is complete. Harris gets away. Andrew Harris down the sidelines. He will score. Mike Renaud kicking to Chad Owens from his 26. Straight ahead. And Owens with a move. And a foot race. Chad Owens. Inside the 23, Bombers won't catch him, and it's a touchdown for Owens. Third and goal. Polaris again, backpedaling, running. He's run back 25 yards now, and he throws to the end zone, and it is caught. Luke Tasker makes the catch. Official sees it, puts the 2 arms in the air, and finally the Cats score. 2 and out. Irula, who's kicked, not a deep one. McDuffie across the 50. Now midfield. Coming back. And away he goes. Look at the speed. He's going to score. Ticats touchdown. 66 yards.
Clock ticking down here to zeros in this first quarter. Should be the final play. It's a direct snap. Sanders now. Some razzle-dazzle. Bo Levi Mitchell heaves it downfield, and it is a beautiful touchdown. Mitchell backed up again. Time ticking down in this first quarter. Changes the play now. Cornish in the backfield. Deep drop for Bo Mitchell. And a deep toss now. Downfield, and it is caught in stride. Bo Price is going to take it to the house. 102 yards. Touchdown strike. Bo to Bo.
This guy might be the biggest of the big plays. Rents the speedster on the outside. Nobody's going to catch Bo Price, maybe the fastest player in the Canadian Football League.